Okay, let's see if it's working now. Mark, fix it. I don't want to start talking and get through this and realize I'm not really live. I see people. Yay! Say hi when you come on. Hi, Carla. Oh, you guys, this was already take 2. Mark needs to fix that stuff because, whew, let me tell you, it's panic time. Hi, Linda. So, happy Friday. It is Friday Fundamentals on this glorious Memorial Day weekend. Hi, Amy. Today we're going to talk about, so you guys know I have the big group. And, hi, Tara. So, Carla and I, we have post-approval on. And we see so many questions all day long. Yeah, take 2 again. I don't know what's going on. What's going on with it at all. Hi, Robin. So we see lots of questions. Carla, back me up on this. Hi, Pam. Where it's kind of apparent, and I don't want to say this in a bad way because you don't know what you don't know, but it's kind of apparent that maybe they don't know how to ask the question. Maybe they're getting terms kind of flip-flopped. A lot of times when I see people giving advice, I'll put through a post, and if I don't know exactly what they're asking, I will ask. Hi, Kara. I will ask for confirmation of what, clarification of what they want. But people will jump in with all of this advice, and then once the clarification is there, none of that advice was working anyhow. So I just thought we would talk about the 5 most recent ones that, come across every single day. These aren't all of them, you guys. There's so many. I am on that, Carla. There are so many. I just picked 5 of the most recent. So we're going to start our list off. Number 1, you guys, if any of you have ever seen me before, you already know what's coming out of my mouth right now. Don't believe the no prep. I know that some of these companies are putting no prep on their jars. Hi, Sam. They're putting no prep on their jars, and people are just buying them up. They slap the paint on. They come into my group, and they say, help, my paint is falling off. They slap the paint on. They put it up for sale. Someone in the neighborhood buys it. That person brings it to me because the paint is peeling off. Friends, there's no such thing as no prep. There just isn't. I mean, I really wish that these paint companies could get in trouble for that because it's kind of misleading. It's false advertising. We've gone round and round, and we probably will again after today's live. But, just take the time. It's not that hard. The first time because when I started this, we didn't have Facebook groups. I didn't know that there was this thing called YouTube where you could watch videos. So after I got going for a while and figured out that there were groups and then found out there was YouTube, I thought, I'm going to go see what's on there. And so I pull up this video, and I kid you not, this girl is in a barn. And she walks over to a big pile of furniture. She grabs a piece. You can see it's filthy. You can see it's got cobwebs on it. Like little dust. It was just gross. And she brings it over in front of the camera. She opens up a can of a very popular paint and just starts painting. And she's like, oh, we'll just paint over those cobwebs. It adds texture. I was so grossed out. I can tell you I've probably watched, as far as the painting world goes, maybe 3 YouTube videos ever. ever. So, that's the problem with that. Anybody can put a video on. So, long rant, sorry. Do your prep. It doesn't take long. Okay? That's it. Just do it. That includes a scuff sand, friends. Okay, number 2. This one kills me, but I understand where it's coming from. So, I have seen so many times people come into the group and say, so the man at the hardware store, I asked him for bin primer, and he said, well, that's an oil-based primer, and you probably don't want that. Friends, bin is not oil-based. Shellac is not oil-based. They are alcohol-based. Okay? So, and don't be mad at that guy. A lot of those places have like turn and burn on these employees, and it's really hard for them to get the proper training that they need before they're just thrown on the floor because they need them. I mean, like you're at Home Depot and you are waiting for an employee to walk by so you can ask a question, and there's no one. So they just got to get them on the floor as fast as possible. So when you go in looking for bin and he's like, no use kills over here because bin is oil-based, it's not. It's alcohol-based. Okay? So that's number 2. Number 3, Carla, here it is. Laminate versus veneer. Now, I don't know, like it's a long time for me since I was in school and took math. But one thing I do remember, and you guys may remember it too, is that all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares, right? All squares are rectangles because they have 4 sides, but not all rectangles are square. Well, that's the same thing as laminate and veneer, okay? So all veneer is a laminate. Because to laminate means you're just gluing layers together. So all veneer is a laminate, but not all laminates are veneers. Because that's so confusing in our furniture world, we actually talk about them as 2 different things. Just like you talk about a square and a rectangle as 2 different things, we talk about laminate and veneer as 2 different things. So veneer is super thin wood, just a slice, that is glued onto a surface. That surface could be maybe a wood that's not as good. That surface could be particle board, okay? But it's still wood. So when you go to the group and you're like, I have this piece that has veneer on it, can I stain that? Yes, it's wood. Can I paint it? Yes, it's wood. Can I sand it? Yes, it's wood. But when you're sanding, you just got to be careful, okay? Laminate, when we talk about that, in the furniture world, we're talking about its own separate little entity. It's usually plastic. So where veneer is wood and glued onto a surface, laminate is plastic and glued onto the surface. Okay? You guys probably remember those old Sears French Provincial when they first came out and they had the plasticky top on them. That's laminate. So, yes, you can paint it. You can stain it, but not in the same traditional sense as you can wood. You would have to use like a gel stain or like a paint with a gel stain over the top, something like that. It doesn't stain like wood does because it's not porous. So that's the difference. Laminate equals plastic. When you tap on it, it sounds very plasticky. Veneer is wood. That's all it is. It's just wood. Just really thin wood. Next one. We're on number 4. We are screaming through these. Number 4. Oil and water-based products. I have so many times seen people ask, can I top coat my piece I just stained with water-based polyacrylic. And you would be surprised at how many people go on the comments and say, no, you cannot put oil or water over oil. That's just not true. So you can put a water-based product, either a sealer or a paint or whatever, over something like, say, an oil-based stain, as long as the oil is completely dry. Typically, with most stains, that's 72 hours. If it's really cold and rainy outside, or it's really humid, it impacts the dry time. And so you want to give that extra time, okay? But 72 hours, not having those conditions, you can go ahead and top coat with a water-based product and you're totally fine. Number 5. Can I put poly over my wax? Now, back in the day, waxes were made with, they were wax. I mean, they were oily, waxy, and they acted as resist. They call them solvent-based. And you couldn't paint over them. You can't water-based top coat over them because it's a resist. It's not going to grab on. Nowadays, there are a couple of companies, Dixie Belle's one of them. I know there's another one, is it Waverly, maybe, that makes a water-based wax. So they figured out how to get that nice, buttery soft, almost glowing finish, but with a water-based product instead. So usually we're used to yelling, no, wax is last, but that's just not the case anymore. So if somebody asks, you guys will see me say, well, what kind of wax is it? Because I don't want to give misinformation. I want to have all my facts straight before I answer. So wax is not always last anymore, friends. Most of the time, but not all the time. So those are the top 5 most recent misconceptions. There's no such thing as no prep. Bin and shellac are not oil-based. They are alcohol-based. Laminate is wood. Laminate is plastic. Veneer is wood. You can put a water-based top coat over an oil-based stain with the proper waiting time. And you can use a water-based top coat over a wax as long as the wax was water-based. Okay, so that's it. We actually had a fairly quick Friday fundamentals. I just wanted to let you guys know that Prima, yesterday afternoon, hey Diane, yesterday afternoon, late afternoon, Prima said, oh, by the way, you guys can put your transfers on sale. So I spent the evening and super early this morning changing all the prices. I put the link up there, okay, up in the description. The other thing I wanted to say was this is Memorial Day weekend. Although we will all be having barbecues and picnicking and visiting with family and friends, maybe you're traveling, I just wanted to say that I'm super grateful for all of those who lost their lives to give us everything that we have now, because that is the meaning of Memorial Day. So thank you, soldiers who lost your lives. You are heroes, and I salute you every day. All right, so you guys have a fabulous weekend. Please give one moment of silence this weekend for those people. All right, have a great weekend. See you next week.